which is maybe a little bad. Am I a bad person considering that? I don't know. I think it would be a family member, my best friends, or something like that. I would pack them all up, tie them together, I guess.
I was just wondering how long it took to get all those tattoos applied.
They were, at first it took a long time because, of course, we got more used to applying them, and we came up with ways of cutting it short because I was wearing like shirts a lot of the time. So like one of the back, we would just cut the top off and leave it there. So you just like, I was only wearing the top of the tattoo. But it took like around half an hour, 45 minutes. The thing was, I had to like meet up a while before everyone else to do this, and a lot of the time you never really got to see my tattoos that much. You know, it felt like, you know, it wasn't that bad, but it was like I needed to meet up like an hour before everyone in the morning, and that 1 hour counts for a lot when it's in the morning and stuff. You know, you're more tired. But it's the really big thing was getting them off again, because usually it was kind of, I don't know, like gone. You know, the one once you put on and then you put some water on it, just sticks and you pull it off. Like the ones from the candy, just in big versions on a big scale. And usually they should just rub off with like soap water, or like they had something to remove it, some remover. But my skin didn't want to like let them go. So I had to rub really badly for a long time. That took a long time. At first, before we tried out a lot of different products and stuff to get it off, it took a long time, and then sometime I would have to like scratch it off in the shower, getting all red, all this stuff. We thought about leaving them on there, but I would be sticking to stuff in my clothes, in my bed. I would be sticking to the sheets. So it was the real big hassle was getting them off again.
Right here. I have two questions. One, what was the language you were speaking with Eric? And soon that, what was that?
I was Swedish.
That's Swedish, okay.
And I don't speak Swedish. Danish is very close to Swedish, but it's not the same. And obviously it's a totally different dialect. And that was my big concern, like getting this right. I got Alex, I still have it on my computer, his files. I taught him, I sent him like an email with all the steps of recording it in GarageBand. And like, so he said all my lines, and I have like a version, like he goes through it and he says, one more time, goes through all the lines again. And I just kind of pause it and copy what he says. And that was how it went. And like on set, the first day when we did the Viking scene, I think there was a line saying, he said, you're just a little boy. And there's two words for that. One is, wait for it. One was the word I thought it was, the one we agreed on, and the other word he hadn't told me he was going to say. So he said it, and it's apparently another word for the same thing. But it really much sounds like a Danish swear word. No, and I was like, what did you call me? The Danish word for sissy boy. I mean, that's a word, but a word that wasn't supposed to be in that sentence, I guess. I was like, what? And I had to ask him after the take, I was like, what did you say there? He said, oh, kuss. Kuss. I was like, what? Well, it's not sissy, but I can't say what it is because I feel I was saying something profane. Sorry. It's not sissy boy. It's bad.
One more question. What was the name of the lady whose name Flannery, the American Vampire League actor? Do you know her name?
Do this. I don't remember. It's okay. Sorry. I'm sorry to her. She was only there one day, and that day was pretty hectic, to my defense. Just I think it just got confirmed. Sorry, Jessica.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh.
And I love the project.
Thank you.
It's so amazingly inspiring. And every moment you were on screen was just a joy. So thank you so much for that.
Audio get lost.
Can you talk a little bit
Does
about
audio
what
get
was
lost?
inspiring or illuminating to you as far as playing the part, and what you did to prepare, and what you thought about as far as wisdom and
Bless you.
that sort of thing?
Yeah. This thing was the big deal about Goddard, I felt, because 2,000 years, no one knows how much this guy's experienced. You can't imagine how much this guy's experienced. So you can't study, you can't say, okay, I want to know everything about
124.
everything, because that's not possible.
124.
So it's like, it's about imitating it, I feel. Like, it's like, how do I kind of get the aura, like the vibe of being really knowledgeable and experienced? So I went like, I thought a lot about this stuff, and I emailed back and forth with Allan Hyde about it just to see whether he was on the same page and stuff. About the fact that I felt like the whole way he's trying to persuade everyone into like following his lead, he's not persuasive in like a young, like, what do you call it, pioneer way. Like, follow me, let's go, just do as I say, blah, blah, all this stuff. I didn't feel like he would do it in that way. I felt like, okay, in order to communicate his wisdom, I think he would do it more like an elderly way, like the more experienced and more knowledgeable people. I felt like they were over all that, like, energetic, let's go. He's more like, let me do it, let me talk some sense into you guys. I'm not forcing you to listen, but I'm just going to say it. Listen to me and follow my lead. Like, he just does something and expects, and in order to make people realize that that's the right thing and follow his lead in order to get the right thing done. So that was one of the things. Just the way of how he would be persuasive and his whole aura, like the calmness and just like, also like his power. I felt like the power he wouldn't have, like, if he was like being commanding in a like a brutal way, it's not the right word, but I felt like he would lose authority in a way. I felt like if he was very, very down to earth, very, very subtle when he said stuff, it would have more impact. So when he orders people to do something, he would be saying it in a really low voice, like, so they had to pay attention, and that would give it more power, because if he could do that without really making a lot of a big fuss out of it, it makes him more powerful. And the last thing, a big thing was also like, why does he do as he does? Why does he sacrifice himself? Why is he so sad? Why does he regret all this? Why did he come to this realization? And I feel like he must have done a lot of bad stuff, this guy. I was like, and I can't imagine how bad it was. I can't imagine all the stuff he might have done. But I have to make up some stuff for myself to know, so it's more specific, instead of being just, oh, he did a lot of bad stuff, and he's regretting it now. I had to make up some specific stuff that I kept to myself, and so I just knew about it. But at the same time, how do I relate to this regret and this feeling that is so big that I can't imagine it? I thought I might apply something to my own life. I usually, so this is kind of, I usually don't talk about it, but it's not really, it was a big deal, but when I was I was like 10 years old. I was this loud guy, this kind of a bully. I wasn't a bully because I was a little guy, but I was the guy like, hey, what's up? Being, hey, everyone look at me like, that stupid attitude might be as a kid. And I did some bad stuff when people were like bullying people.